division of TTI, who will help me with the presentation. I'll give you an overview of the background of TTI, our mission statement, and how it resonates with the BIM program. Our embryonic strategy, the first steps that we have undertaken on these journeys, and what is the value of BIM to us, and what the risks and the challenges are. I will focus maybe on a slight different aspect, which is the organizational side, and the point of view of somebody who is the custodian of assets on behalf of their estate and who wants to deliver outcomes from the projects as opposed to outputs. So this puts the perspective on the data. I heard a good quote somewhere that data is the new oil, and this is true really during construction, so it's very important to achieve predictability during construction, but even more so to use the data during the 120 years plus lifespan of the infrastructure. So we are the sanctioning authority for roads projects in Ireland and the sponsoring agency for light rail and metro. Two slightly different remits. However, this won't make much difference for our considerations today. The galaxy of stakeholders we work with, though, must be considered. So DITAS, the Department of Transport, Tourism and Sport, is one of our partner organizations, and our funding department for roads. We work with the National Transport Authority, we are the sanctioning authority for public transport, very closely. And obviously we have a plethora of other stakeholders in the public sector. The GCC are a key partner, and we work very closely with them because obviously we use the suite of contracts, and from time to time we apply also for derogation when we have particular circumstances who call on this. Our purpose in life is to deliver outcomes and transport solutions, and that's in our mission. And our vision is to be leaders in this. In doing so, we want to deliver to a number of values, and they are there on the slide. And obviously, I won't comment on integrity. That's, to me, is a basic requirement, and it's facilitated by very good communication also through BIM, even in contracts, for instance. But definitely, collaboration and innovation are really values to which BIM is a strategic tool to develop, to deliver to this value. Our key drivers and our key plan, obviously, is the Project Ireland 2040 with the National Planning Framework, and the funding plan called National Development Plan, which includes a number of large projects, and I quote only a few on the road side: Dunkettle Interchange, then 20 Cork to Limerick, to name two; Metrolink on the public transport side, of course, because that's obviously a flagship project and a very exciting program, which, interestingly enough, involves a digital element and data also during operation. And then a number of enhancements to the capacity of the LUAS, and 4 proposed new LUAS lines. And our intention, obviously, is to harness BIM for all of these projects in a phased fashion at different levels. And our intention, as John will explain, is not only to apply BIM to the mega programs, but also to start piloting it on smaller initiatives that, though limited in value, involve a lot of complexity and maybe interface with the live systems. Because one point that I stress again is that from our point of view, we have projects and we have a business. LUAS, to name one of the businesses that are that we manage from a contract management point of view on behalf of the state, carries over 40 million passengers every year. Sorry, the same number as the light rail of Manchester, which is twice as big. I won't quote the figures for them 50. So all of this has to be taken into account in delivering the projects, and BIM will help us in this as well. So I hand you over to John, who will expand a bit on where we are and where are we going, and then I'll come back. John.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
John Duffy from the architectural section.
Okay, thank you, Paolo, for that. So just to look at our background and the current design processes within the organisation, within Transport Infrastructure Ireland, we currently use a controlled BIM level 1 set of processes for our infrastructure project design through our drawing control department. So we're launching from quite a good public sector level into BIM level 2. We use BIM Level 2 processes on 2 key projects, as Paolo just mentioned, the Dunkettle Interchange in Cork, which is the red cow of the south, and the Metrolink project here in Dublin. So more will follow as our knowledge of the technology within our organisation grows and the processes develop further. It's also important to remember that we're the asset owners and the data models will be utilised for the life cycle of the assets. So our vision is to become a data-centric public client for the management of world-class transport infrastructure project delivery. So we're going to become very data-focused. The first of the key projects, most of you will have some awareness of this. We're going to tease you a little bit of information on this today, and hopefully we'll have further presentations in the months and years to come as the projects develop. So the first one is the Metrolink project. A bit of background on this. So the project main deliverable is to deliver a north to south high capacity spine from Swords in North County Dublin to Sandyford in South Dublin by 2027. And the key project deliverables are 26 kilometres in length alignment with 11 kilometres in tunnel sections. Construction of 15 new stations with 30 trains per hour per direction, new depot facilities and park and ride facilities as well. So the client expectations of BIM or Metrolink are to realise the business outcomes that BIM Level 2 aims to achieve, namely improvements in cost, value and carbon performance through the use of open and shareable asset information, all about the asset information. To procure and implement a common data environment with CTI, to use an asset data dictionary for all assets, and that's broken down through our asset breakdown structures. To use Unit Class 2015, that's the common classification we'll be using and are using, and an enhanced collaboration resulting in improved project delivery is another high client expectation of BIM on this project. We also expect reduced information loss between the project phases, very important. Okay, so just there's a couple of graphics on screen there, quite basic, but just to kind of show some of the station concepts and options that we're currently in development. So again, we're at the early stage of our projects. Oops, I think we're frozen here a bit. You should be an IT bomb. Thanks, great. Okay, so thanks for that. The second project I'm going to go through briefly is the Dunkettle Interchange project. So this project is our this project is the red car of the south, as I mentioned earlier, connects the M8 Dublin Road and the N25 Waterford Road with 2 major routes within Cork. So under the plans, the interchange will be redesigned with the central roundabout and traffic lights removed. So traffic will therefore be able to move freely north to south between the M8 and the N40, as well as east to west between the N25 and the N8. Easy congestion on all approaches. There's 2 key stages. First stage is the design, construction, planning and target cost development. And the second stage is the construction. The main construction starts in Q2 2019 and finishes in Q2 2022. So the project deliverables are 10 kilometres of new road links with 42 major structures, adjustments to the Jack Lynch tunnel approach to the structure, and 1 new grade separated junction arrangement to the east of the existing Dunkettle interchange. It's 4 roundabouts, several culverts, pedestrian and cyclist facilities. And the client expectations of BIM on the Dunkettle interchange. So the use of level 2 BIM is to enhance the efficiency of the project delivery. It'll improve information flow within the core project team. So improvements in design and construction efficiency in a congested and live traffic environment. The use of 3D data models will assist with decision making. And it's readily available, there will be readily available project data for use post-construction for asset management. So overall, the challenges of BIM to TII, to our organisation, are this. So BIM will necessitate changes in our work practices. There's people issues with regards to training and skills. Technology issues, including hardware, software, data security. Procurement, supply chain readiness for project delivery. On the process side, there are complex information workflows on large projects. These will need careful planning. At policy level, at government level, there's guidance across the public sector organisations which are in development through the OGP and the Office of Government Procurement. We heard Stephen talk earlier about that, and these will be incorporated into our projects. Band 5 projects mandate is due to be triggered Q2 2019. We've heard Stephen talk about that earlier, and we have 2 key projects already using BIM level 2 processes currently in the process of design. So overall, the value of BIM to TII: it enables development of more sustainable design using data models for analysis. It creates a digital twin of the asset to tender stage of construction. It also provides valuable asset data and project knowledge for continuous improvement. It helps convey the construction methodology to stakeholders through the use of data models. It improves collaboration and design coordination. And the data gathered through the project process is of high value, particularly for handover and for operational phase. So TII look forward to embracing the technology for delivering Irish infrastructure projects faster, smarter and better. Thank you.